You want to go play with them? Is that what you want to do? And they having fun without you? I love you, buddy. You're such a good man. Yeah. You're such a chill cat. Today was the 42nd. What number date was today? The 35th? Was today October 35th? Do you even know your numbers yet? When do cats learn their numbers? I'm not sure. What number was today? The 33rd. Thank you. Today was the 33rd. October 33rd, right? Right, buddy? Is that what today was? Oh. You can really fall asleep at any time. It's quite remarkable. That's what I was wondering. Did they call it a cat nap? Because if you've ever observed a cat, these animals quite literally have a talent to fall asleep at the drop of a hat. I don't really like that saying. At the drop of a feather, at the drop of a leaf, at the drop of a rock. I think we're going to rename that phrase. The drop of a rock.
Everything's computer.
It is now. Everything is computer. But today on October, whatever October day it was, there were some cool protest signs out there. Hopefully you got to go out and participate in the nationwide, the worldwide solidarity event to stand against tyrants, no kings. That's what I forgot to do. I was gonna grab something else for the live. But if you didn't, you can participate in your own way. We're gonna go through some cool signs, some cool signages, some cool photos from today that I collected, I gathered for you all, and we'll take a look at them. It was a rad event. Welcome. I'm Rob. I do a live stream every weekday. I know what you're thinking. It's Saturday. All right, busted. You got me. Sometimes I go live on the weekends. So what I try to tell people is if you just hit subscribe and then hit the notification bell, you'll get notified. And that way you go, that son of a gun tricked me. He said he goes live 5 days a week. He's going live 6, 7 days a week. It just depends. Depends what's in the news. It depends how pressing it is to converse with you. We got a cool community here, so I encourage everybody. No, that was wrong. I don't encourage everybody. I encourage the most of you. The people who see this photo and go, yeah. If you get this protest poster, then you're one of the ones who should subscribe. If you look at this photo and you go, look at that nussy. He did it all for the nussy. Hold on, there we go. The nussy, come on. If you look at this photo and see the biggest nussy you've ever seen, then you're one of the ones that can hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you understand the Antifa Manifesto to be the Constitution and other founding documents, then you might be a subscriber. Hit subscribe at the notification bell. If you... Oh man, I'm gonna show you this video later. If you have not seen this video, oh my God. Solidarity with this lady. May we all have the courage this woman has. If you see this photo and you think, hell yeah, I want that as a blacklight poster, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're building out a huge network, a huge community, and it's worldwide. That's the thing. That's the thing here, folks. It's worldwide. Look at this. No Kings, Melbourne, Australia. They even got their own frog. I wonder if he ribbits a different way. Because you know how in like each country, that's the one thing I wish we could get universal. T-shirt sizes and the way animals and sound, or no, the animal sounds are fine. It's the laughter. Some is ja ja ja, some is he he he, some is ha ha ha, some is LOL. I wish we could just come up with a universal one thing for laughter. But we'll solve that after the fascist crisis America's going through. Bunch of hyenas. So if you stand against the swine of our time, hit subscribe. We talk a whole bunch. We skewer the news. We satire the news. We joke about the news because let's face it.
Enigmas never age.
And the news is a joke. You know, when the president can't get this out.
I said, well, let's see how we say that. I said, Minifin.
Oh, there you go. Tylenol. The name for Tylenol he struggled with. Holy Christ. What was the other thing? Oh, last night we talked about Prince Andrew, how this brat, this entitled brat, he's from the UK. He had one job. Prince Andrew had one job in life, is to live his life in a way that he wasn't deemed a pervert and had all of his royal titles removed, which they had another article about yesterday, how Prince Andrew has had all his royalty titles, whatever they're called, removed. And we played some of the interview of Prince Andrew where he said,
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the...
Interesting. I would say he has a peculiar medical condition that makes him stutter when he starts to lie. But last night we were pointing out how, isn't it weird? Isn't it the oddest coincidence that Donald Trump had bone spurs during Vietnam? He's never had them since. He had bone spurs. Donald Trump just had bone spurs during Vietnam. Prince Andrew, who got all his royalty titles, his crowns and sashes and Carmen Miranda hats or whatever they wear over there for royalty, his capes and probably a pin or something, maybe a set of boots, royal boots. Donald Trump had bone spurs that only lasted the Vietnam War. We have not heard of them since. Prince Andrew happened to not be able to sweat during the exact time of the accusations of him being in the Epstein files. So it's just, it's real weird stuff, you know, real weird coincidences that they're like, well, that couldn't be true because for that couple of years, I could not sweat. I can sweat now, fine, but any accusations during that time, I could not sweat. Same with Donald Trump. He couldn't, remember when he said the Jeffrey Epstein birthday card didn't exist? And he said, I've never doodled or drawn in my life. Weird coincidence. So, long story short, if you're one of the people that gets that, hit subscribe. We're going to go through, hold on. I didn't realize there's some comments. Oh, and then if you're going to be a PDF file protector, if you're going to be a guardian of the PDF files, the GOP, I'm just going to mute you. You don't add much. No kings, no pedo pans in the White House. Good to see you, Rob. Trump could tell you that the error is great to breathe, and you would hold your breath. You would hold your breathe. Australia, mind your own business. No, that's solidarity across the world. They don't like tyrants either. It would, you know, outside the irony of the MAGA maggots, the MAGATS, is they usually tell hardworking Americans, why don't you go to China? Why don't you go to Russia? And the funny thing about that is they would probably be happier in one of those dictatorships. in the Democratic Republic of North Korea, or whatever it's called. They would be happier in those places. So you're going to find that throughout the world, I like the frog in Australia. Solidarity to you guys. Hopefully they watch Friendly Jordies. But in London, I think there was Ireland. I seen a bunch of pictures. I didn't get all of them. But there were people across the globe standing in solidarity against fascism and petty tyrants. Where you're not going to see these No Kings protests, China, Russia, North Korea, the Middle East, you know, because they have kings, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they have a king. So you're not going to see protests in those places. Ironically, the places that MAGA claims they don't want to be. Hold on. Let's look at another sign. This is a great one. That's a great one. That's a good sign. Hey, Alma, good to see you. Also, oh yeah, if anybody, because we've been talking about Jesus here, not just talking about him, but you know, I was showing you the cool sign my brother sent me. I don't know where he's seen this, but I love this one. This is a great one. Love this sign. I think it's a powerful imagery. Powerful. But speaking of Yeshua, if any of MAGA, they don't usually add too much. They usually just go, oh, TDS or Trump 2028. They don't really like add to the conversation. But if you could cite one actual teaching of Christ that you fight for, chapter and verse, if you want. I don't say please if you want, but just one. Something Jesus really commanded that Trump's movement promotes. If you could, I'd like to see. I saw this meme and I thought that's a fascinating thing. The cops arrested an ICE agent today for drunk driving. Kelly, I seen a video with the cops pulled over this white MAGA dude. I think it was in Florida, and he had his kids in the back of his truck, and he was clearly hammered. Again, Christ, teaching of Christ. Carl, Christ wasn't anti-trans. He wasn't transphobic. Still waiting. I know it's going to take him a while because there isn't anything. There isn't anything. In fact, what I like to, because I believe Christ is my Lord and Savior, and he was one of the most radical people who walked the earth. Christ never carried cash, wore flip-flops and a robe, and he said stuff like this. You shall love the Lord with all your heart. And then second, you shall unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. No asterisk. That's a quote. No asterisk. Nothing about you can love them unless they're trans, gay, immigrant, different color skin than you, have disabilities, basically anything besides white male that you agree with. There's no asterisk for that. And Jesus also said, there is no other commandment greater than these. So again, waiting for MAGA to tell me what teaching of Christ Donald Trump and his cult of personality promote. Just waiting to see if anybody can even attempt to answer it. Okay, here we go. They're packing their copium and they're getting ready to puff. Like it or not, Trump is the president. Not my president. Remember when you guys used to say that? Remember how cool you guys thought you were? You said, not my president. So again, just answer the question. What teaching of Christ do you stand for? Yeah, Sid, there's a lot of maggots out there, so we got to speak out against this. Most of the YouTubers that I've seen that are like the MAGA Christian nation, they're grifters. They're scamming you, because this is all we got to do is ask them one thing. What is MAGA fighting for that's Christian? I'm with you. I think we should absolutely have a godly man in the White House. That's not what I said. In fact, I said we don't have a godly man in the White House. We have a scam artist and guardian of the PDF files, who is also in the Epstein files. So, again, this has been, I don't know how many minutes, but I've had this up for a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes now. And MAGA cannot once say a Christian, something Jesus said that they're promoting. Something Jesus really commanded that Trump's movement is promoting. None of them. One person, Carl, tried to say anti-trans, but as I can point out, here is the basis of religion. Once you believe in Christ, Christ says this: love God and unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. There are no other greater commandments. So all the Leviticus, all the Isaiah, all the read this and that, it's irrelevant, because if you can do these two things, you good. You good. Jesus did say a few more things like, hey, rich people, go collect all your stuff, sell all your belongings, give the money to the poor. But I'm just trying to figure out if any MAGA, because they love to talk about God and Jesus and you're going to hell and do it in the name of the Lord. But what Lord? Your Lord Satan? Get back, Satan. Because again, now it's been at least 3 to 4 minutes and I'm just waiting for one MAGA to say something of teaching of Christ that they fight for. We could probably do this for an hour and they'll have nothing. MAGA is coping hard today. Jim Peepeecock, the devil is a Democrat. That's very Christian of you. Very Christian. I would say Jim is probably soulless. Do not murder. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to the 10 Commandments. Again, do you know how many people have died in ICE custody? Do you know how many Americans die every year from lack of health care? And do you know that this man is fighting right now to kick more poor and vulnerable people off of health care, old people and children? So technically that is murder. If you have the means to help people continue getting their health care that every other country is guaranteed as a human right, and then this guy comes in and says, I need to give my rich friends tax breaks. And he says, we're going to kick those people off healthcare. And 65,000 Americans already die every year from lack of access to healthcare. I would qualify that as murder with a pen. So I'm just waiting for you to again tell me what Jesus Christ teaching you stand for, because you don't even stand for that one. You don't even. And all these people, let it be known, us children of God, will keep shining lights where you keep putting darkness, where you try to hide the fact that this scam artist wrote a bill that cuts taxes for the richest. And how do they try to balance it out? They still add $5 trillion to the deficit. But how do they try to balance it out? Well, they didn't even try. Their cruelty is the point where they are specifically kicking people off of Medicaid and Medicare. Kids and old people, Americans. They're going to force Americans to die. Hospitals are closing, and those people are losing access to health care. Also, his rich friends who donated millions, if not, hundreds of millions to him in some way, his family, his whatever. Also, he could give them tax breaks. Is very anti-Christ. Just put it like that. Jesus said, again, unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. Unless, and the trolls will go, of course I would. Unless you would let old people and children die, when they clearly have paid taxes, billionaires aren't paying their fair share. And you should see what Jesus said about rich people if you believe. He didn't say to take care of one another. But this, I don't think it can get any more clear. That you shall unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. That means if we have the means, which we do, these people had health care, and this fat turd is taking it from them. He's kicking people off of healthcare. That would not be loving people. Do you understand how much you have to contort yourself to try to go, well, no, Jesus didn't say that you should have healthcare. How about you think about when Jesus healed people? Do you know about Jesus healing people? When Jesus healed people, did he say, okay, I got to see what kind of insurance you have, and it looks like it's going to be a $50 copay? When Jesus healed people, did he say, how many hours a week are you working? Are you full-time? Because if you're not full-time, I can't be doing that. It's so sad how dumb people are, really. It's like sad. And it's kind of hilarious, that they really think they're believing Christ. Christ said some simple ass shit. I know the parables confused people. I see why now. But he made it real basic. He was like, if you want to follow Christ, you live like me. Christ didn't ensure people were working to heal them. He didn't check their health insurance or charge them a copay. But people will absolutely twist it and pretend like, no, Jesus really wanted rich people to have tax breaks and to hoard wealth. Oh, interesting. Because when I read about Jesus in the Bible, he's usually saying it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. But you can twist it to whatever you need to sleep at night. But again, MAGA, it has been over 7-8 minutes now, and all I asked for is one teaching of Christ that they fight for. If you're going to claim to be a Christian nation, you should at least know what your movement stands for, and it looks like it's just hatred and fear of others, which is ironic, because you know what Jesus said the most in the Bible? Do not fear. And you guys are a bunch of scared little snowflakes, scared of everything, scared of books, scared of other people, scared of brown people, scared of this, scared of foreigners, scared of Americans, scared of crime, scared of this. You guys are so sensitive. Really, live like Jesus. He said, do not fear. If God is with you, who could be against you? Are you not a child of God? It seems like you're not walking in faith. So, after almost 10 minutes of just saying one thing, can you just tell me one thing if you're going to claim to be a follower of Christ that your movement is promoting? And you can't. And I even gave you the answer. Love God and love unselfishly your neighbor as yourself. But you don't promote either of those things. Because to love God would mean you're living like this. You're loving your neighbor. And Jesus said there's no greater commandment than those two. Nothing greater. Maybe some people don't understand what nothing greater means. Maybe they failed 5th grade math when you had the little alligator eating the bigger number. Nothing greater means don't start quoting Leviticus at me. Don't start telling me, well, but the government shouldn't do the health care. Don't. There's nothing greater. This is Jesus's words. You want to fight with Jesus over this? You want to say Jesus is wrong? Interesting. That's a new take. I never thought I'd see the day where MAGA was like, well, actually, Jesus got it wrong in the Bible. We're rewriting it for him. Which, Now that I say that, I wouldn't be too surprised if they tried to. All right. So, just to prove that, MAGA isn't Christian. They're not. They're not acting like it. They're not loving their neighbor. They're supporting tyrants. They're supporting the Roman emperors of our time. If you know anything about biblical days, they're supporting the political police and the Roman emperor. They're supporting Pontius Pilate. If you know what that means, you know what that means. That's why I thought this was such a powerful. Thank you to my brother for sending me this. I don't know where he's seen it, but amazing, amazing imagery. Art is so powerful. So powerful. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join me in this journey to hold a mirror up to tyrants and fascists and trolls. Oh my. By the way, you see this neck nussy? You see this neck nussy? It's so gross, you'd think it was an OnlyFans channel, Grandma. It looks like you should put on a G-string. Thank you, that's my song. That's my song. Why are you guys all mad? Why have I offended you? Why? Why have I offended you? Because I showed you what Jesus said? That got you so upset to learn? I mean, just open your Bible. You probably don't have a Bible. Seriously. It's shocking. The people who claim to walk by Christ don't know his greatest commandments. If you're going to claim to love Christ, you should know his two greatest commandments. Don't get mad at me. Don't get offended that I love it when the Christians, heavy emphasis on the fucking air quotes. I love when I'm just like, hey, this is what the Bible says. And these people are like, my God, this dude is a demon. I need to stop him, shut him up. I need Tim Pool to tell me Christ would love to be slamming people's faces on the concrete. Do you hear yourself, man? You hear yourself? Gary, you gotta censor that. I agree, man. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this. By the way, I want to show you this version of it. Hold on. Holy oly. For those who can read, hit subscribe. We need more readers in this country, if you know what I mean. More people who can understand those squiggly letters that people put down on paper. It's called cursive. It's a lost art. Hold on. Juan says you're full of hate and misinformation. Juan, I'm tempted to call you a demon and to say, get back from me, Satan. This is so funny. I say you should be loving your neighbor unselfishly. There's no greater commandment. Love your neighbor unselfishly. Who's your neighbor? Everyone. You should have love for people. And Juan says that's misinformation. Oh, Jesus is going to have words with you, Juan, and they're probably going to be in a hot and fiery place. And he's going to come down from on high to be like, Juan, you fucked up, bro. And you're going to be like, Jesus said the F word. And guess what? Guess what Jesus is going to say to you? He's going to say, well, it's presidential language.
He doesn't want to fuck around with the United States.
Did you hear drop the F-bomb live on air? How am I going to explain that to my kids? I'm just trying to live like a follower of Christ. And now I got to explain to my kids that the F word is presidential language. My God, some of you have no decorum. Okay, I want to show you this. 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 Hold on. When people just get hateful, I got to put them in a timeout because nobody taught you any manners. Nobody taught you any manners, young sir. Nobody taught them any manners. Nobody taught you any manners. Some of you, it sounds like you were raised feral. The 404 error, I understand why he probably supports Trump because of the Epstein files. Some people support it because, like, you know, you know, you know. But did you see this? This was pointed out. I don't know who said this. Mama Beth Crowley. But this was also, other people have been talking about this, but she wrote it out well. Selected the photo for Trump's vanity cover on Time magazine. In one image, his top three tells are revealed. His sans emotional support comb over, his lewd and not masculine neck. We call it a nussy. That's a nussy. You see them nussy folds? And that place on his ear where he definitely did not get shot. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the lens is mightier than the pen. Never before has a more, hold on, passive aggressive, active passive aggression been so exquisitely passively aggressed. I love how they wrote that. So I wanted to show you that. All right, let's go through some of the kings. And this is, this is a good point that I've seen online. Only in MAGA world do retired folks, teachers, clergy, students, nurses, and union members at a No King's Day rally get called terrorists, while the Proud Boys who smeared on the Capitol walls get called patriots. And this is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with. But it's just part of the systemic racism that has not been rooted out of America. It's an age-old American way that unfortunately most people who are terrified. I listen to, the book I'm reading, Martin Luther King Jr.'s Strength to Love. He talks about how there's so many white people that are scared that if black folks got their rights and that equality promised to them in the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, if black folks got that these white folks were so much in fear of black folks doing what the white folks had done to them. It's a great book, Strength to Love by Martin Luther King Jr. I highly encourage you to read it. And he talks about that. And that's a real thing. I mean, I've witnessed it on my own. My skin color lets me sneak in with some of these racists. And if I don't say anything first, they'll open up. And it's frightening what they think. But it's even more frightening when you think, being a child of God, God tells you, do not fear. So that is real. And this is what we're facing still. These chicken shit, fear-filled, egomaniac, willing to label anything. There is no truth. They'll bend it for anything. All they want to do is, as the kids say, dunk on the libs or own the Democrats. There is no America for them. They don't care about the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. They only care about, their leader, their chicken supreme leader. So, you got to remember that when you're dealing with this stuff, that they will label you anything. They don't care. They go to satisfy Trump. That's it. This was out in Portland. I love that. I showed you Melbourne, Australia, solidarity with Melbourne, the Aussies. This, I forget where this was, but this, did you see them roll out a huge Constitution, Declaration of Independence, whichever one that one is, the big We the People. I don't know if it's real. I was trying to watch a video. All I saw was that. I don't know what city that was. I didn't take too many notes. This I know is Boston. Look at this. Look at how many people were out in Boston. Look at that. Well, Boston is also kind of the birthplace of the revolution, where the Boston Tea Party happened. And if you've ever heard anybody, especially those talking heads on Fox like Tucker Carlson or Jessica Waters or Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro, you've ever heard any of those propagandists, those millionaire mouthpieces for the billionaires, those puppets ever said, protest the right way? I want you to remember this. If anybody ever in your life says, oh, you just protest the right way, I want you to go, that's an interesting take. We know what you would have been saying to the people who participated in the Boston Tea Party back in 1773, I think it was. I could be a year off. But protesting the Stamp Tax Act, where the crown, you might have heard of taxation without representation. The crown was taxing everything coming into the colonies. And in protest, some of the colonists threw the king's tea into the harbor. And it was a political statement. And they destroyed the king's capital. So if you hear people nowadays say, oh, just hold up a sign, just know those would have been the people back in the day saying, you need to be loyal to you shouldn't be destroying the king's tea. You should write him a proper letter in cursive and let him know how you feel. You know, we would have never had America. Well, in fact, they're trying to undo an America right now. So I expect no less from my brethren here. Hold on. The Boston Tea Party was shocked at what the left has become. Oh, and some people love to brag. You know, Woody is a, what do we call him? A peacock. He shows his plumage of stupidity. Some people just love to show off how uninformed they are, you know? Yeah. All these people protesting kings would really, really shock the people in the 1700s protesting kings. Oh my God, that's so funny. What is this one? Oh, I think this is Burlington. People showing up out in Burlington. This is Chicago. Oh, hold on. We got to do it for Chicago. Where is it? Come on. Where is it? Here we go.
Go Bears.
There you go. Chicago. Sid, they watch Fox News all day and think they're informed. Exactly. Oh, here we go. I like this sign. Hey, Trump, no one paid us to be here. We all hate you for free. That's hilarious. Oh, this was the Millionaires Tax thing that I was talking about yesterday. Sorry. They're doing insider trading. They're stealing congressional seats. They're bankrupting farmers. The reason why we're going to lose our democracy in the last 60 years of civil rights is because Republicans can control the House, the Senate, the White House, the Supreme Court, the media, and the press, and people will still blame Democrats for everything. It's hilariously sad. Like when I hear these Ben Shapinos and Tim Pools and stuff talk about corporations and, you know, how corporations are running woke left ads, I'm like, aren't you like part libertarian? Don't you want corporations to be able to do whatever they want? Like the hypocrisy is just piled in. It's their irony is almost delicious, but they make no sense. But when you're talking to an uneducated proletariat, you know, what else can you expect? I'm going to play this lady's audio for you in a minute. Don't know where that is. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know where this is, but I love that. Look at this one. Powerful. Sorry, folks, but ignoring it is what the Germans did. And then if you can read that, Anne Frank. Terrible things are happening outside. Poor, helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. Families torn apart. Men, women, and children are separated. Children come home from school to find their parents have disappeared. 1943. Diary of Anne Frank. That's. Oh, Brian, do you not understand what a libertarian is? They want no government, or they say small government, because they still want to regulate women's bodies. And they want corporations to have the freedom and unregulated market. You should really understand that before you call yourself one, because anyone that isn't like Peter Thiel of Palantir or Jeff Bezos isn't a libertarian. They just want to strip workers of their rights. You know, basically, we live in a capitalist libertarian society where corporations just donate to their political puppets and they get to write their own laws. That's what we're living in. The other thing is, before we get to some of these other photos, patriotism is not obedience. 8647. This is a toupee, not a crown. That's a great one. Democratic Socialists, they were here in Salem. Here's my city. Yeah, no kings, resist. I love it. I love it. I love it. San Diego, shout out to my home away from home. Love to see San Diego filled up like it was a goddamn Comic-Con. I want to play some audio from No Kings. I think it was No Kings, New York. Did you see this? Mr. Mandami, solidarity to him. He says free buses will cost $700 million. Cuomo, this fucking jackhole, gave more than $959 million to Elon Musk. He gave that much to a billionaire for a failed Tesla factory. I think it was the Buffalo one that has just been horrible. You know, basically sunk all this taxpayer money and has not brought the jobs to the community. And he did it to a billionaire, you know? Like, that's pocket change to a billionaire. Meanwhile, we could have free buses in New York. So I love that he's pointing this stuff out and saying, don't tell me we can't afford public transit when billionaires get blank checks for hype. Remember, Elon Musk is a liar and an illegal immigrant. He's the only one I support ICE kicking out of this country. Only one. Maybe Melania, you know. She came here on an Epstein visa, right? Melania did. Isn't that? It was a special kind of visa. There was a special visa. I think it was, Melania came on the Epstein visa. Release the files. Donald Trump's in them. All right. For all you 90s kids, you might remember this next man. He was a scientist, which is, offensive to Republicans now. I love how science and books and gender-neutral bathrooms are like so offensive to these really tough guys with truck nuts on their trucks. But yeah, he's a science guy, which means, you know, he drives fucking Republicans crazy because he, like, you know, bases stuff on science, which, you know, I don't know when it like became cool to be so dumb. Should we blame Bart Simpson? I don't know. But I want to play some Bill Nye. He was at the No Kings, from Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. No Kings, Washington, D.C. Bill Nye, the science guy.
We are here for the same reason our ancestors gathered here in 1776. We want our government to run without a king. Our government is based on ideas embodied in the Constitution. Among other remarkable features, it guarantees our freedom to speak, as we're doing here today. Rather than doing one monarch's bidding, we have agreed to form a democracy, to work together, and to follow the laws that derive from it. No thrones, no crowns, no kings.
Awesome.
We are here.
Love it. And then I want to play this audio from Media-san at the DC No Kings. If your ears hurt, I would suggest going somewhere else. If you're very sensitive, that's okay. I support that. I know Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan, and his friends would make fun of people with sensitive ears. I don't. If you have sensitive ears, that's okay. I said he's a science guy. Oh, we got a lot of people with ears that don't work. Bill Nye, the science guy. Maybe you're not from the 90s. That's okay. Not everybody's from the 90s. Only the great ones. If you're going to come with some, like, 6th grade, I don't know if, I don't know if, like, your therapist told you to write haikus when you get scared of LGBTQ+, but don't do it here. You know, write your haikus about your fear of gay people, your homophobia. Write it in a notebook or something. Get it off YouTube. I don't want to see it. or go do it on your channel. All right, let's listen to Mehdi-Hassan.
And you know, they say we don't reach out to the other side. We don't reach out to conservatives or Republicans, that we're in an echo chamber. Well, let me say to every Republican and conservative watching, aren't you the ones who said no more big government, no tyranny in America?
Interesting point. Wasn't it always the Republicans? Just like I always say this about the Republicans. I say the Republicans and their followers used to say, not my president. They used to say that the election was stolen. They would say, like, you know, it's rigged, it's rigged. And then in 4 short years, they're like, my president, and elections are so super safe. What happened to you guys? You guys used to, you know, be conspiracy theorists, and you guys used to say, I don't trust the government. And now, within 4 short years, you are all, I'm ready to obey in advance, sir. Well, I picked up the baton for you guys. Remember how much you used to love this? Somebody, 4 years ago, if I said, not my president, ooh, you guys would be clapping. You guys would be hearting the screen. You go, I'll buy your t-shirts. I'll buy your Bible with the Bill of Rights in it. I'll pay anything for that Chinese Bible. I'll buy your meme coin, sir. You know? And then if I say in 2024, or well, now it's 2025, but if in November 2024, late November 2024, if I said the election was rigged, oh, you guys now hate it. Now you guys are all sensitive about it. What happened? Bunch of losers. But you also said, like Mehdi-Hassan says, you also said, you know, no government, a mask is tyranny. You know, you're oppressing me. And now you're like, more political police, more political police. You're like, build more prisons, build more political prisons, build more racist prisons. What happened to you guys, man? Holy shit, did you get obedient?
So, if you believe that, what are you doing defending masked federal agents in unmarked cars, bundling people off of the streets, including American citizens, and disappearing them?
Oh shit, I would say it's because they have no spine and they just worship Donald Trump. They say, can I get further up your butt, sir?
How are you okay with that? And if you're not okay with it, then come over to our side. The side
The people. Come over to the people.
of the Democrats.
I'm not a Democrat, so that don't suit me. But I am a leftist, and I will say we stand for the people. In fact, well, hold on, I'm going to let this finish, and then I have something important for you to hear.
The small d Democrats, not the big D Democrats, not the Democratic Party. Those of us who are from all parties and none. But those of us who care about saving America so that we can get to our 250th birthday and still be free.
Ooh, do you think they're going to give out free cake for the 250th of America, if we make it? We've spent so much money on billionaires. We give billionaires tax breaks all the time. I think America can afford to give us all a slice of cake. That's my vote. I don't know. You vote. You vote in the comments if you want free cake.
When we reach 250 years, come over to our side. The side of no crowns, no thrones, no kings. The side of freedom, of liberty, of the Constitution. The First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 22nd Amendment, which says 2 terms means 2 terms. And if you're not worried about Donald Trump trying to stay on for a 3rd term, you should be. He's literally selling merch.
He's literally selling merch. But the other thing is, he's 80 years old. I don't want any more presidents who can have a Smucker's birthday on the morning show on CBS or whatever it is. I don't want any more 80-year-old presidents, you know? It's so crazy. The people that were like, Joe Biden's too old. I'm going to vote for the guy his age. Okay, I want to play AOC for you, because a lot of MAGA gets this confused because they're so selfish. When people are very selfish and they hear other people speak, they don't think they're included because they think, well, when I say that stuff, I don't mean anybody else. I'm speaking like my shirt. Okay? When MAGA says don't tread on me, they literally mean just them. But this shirt is a collective me. It means don't tread on me as in us. It was a collective saying. But when MAGA says this, they say don't tread on specifically me. I don't care if, you lock people up, political police, infringe on people's First Amendment rights. They say, I don't care if Donald Trump's making a gun registry, as long as you don't infringe on me. They're very, very selfish. But leftists, and apparently AOC, when I heard her say this, I thought, this is incredible, because I always got to explain. When I say universal health care, paid paternity leave, maternal leave, guaranteed sick time, guaranteed vacation time, when I say pensions, when I say $66 minimum wage, that means for all of us, for Americans. And it was cool to hear AOC to say this.
If you don't vote for him, he doesn't have to be your leader. That if you didn't vote for him, that you don't deserve good things to happen to you. I don't care if someone voted for me or not. I don't care if someone is a Republican or an independent or a Democrat. I don't care if someone likes me or not. That will never change the fact that I'm going to fight for them to have health care. I want MAGA to have health care. I want MAGA to be paid a living wage. But he doesn't want people who are Democrats, or he doesn't want people based on their political affiliation to benefit. And that is the difference between a strongman and an authoritarian and a leader of a democracy.
Well said. Well said. I love how she said that, because Donald Trump years ago, I don't remember which years ago, he said, I have concepts of a health plan. Just like 10 years ago, he said, I'll release my taxes once the IRS is done auditing them. That was over 10 years ago. So clearly a liar. And just like his concepts of a healthcare plan, clearly a lie, because it turns out in the big bill he passed, it was kicking people off healthcare. There was no new healthcare package. It was just kicking people off. Healthcare is going up. Premiums are going to double, triple, quadruple. Healthcare is going to get more expensive, and a lot of people are going to lose it. And remember, 65,000 Americans already die from lack of access to healthcare every year. That is unheard of in other industrialized nations. In other first world nations, that's insane. They've guaranteed healthcare as a human right. And we could pay for healthcare just by taxing billionaires. Never mind using our taxes. But he said he had concepts of a healthcare plan. And it turns out those concepts were to kick people off and give rich people tax breaks. And this is why I say it's so crazy, because MAGA doesn't understand that when I say I want universal healthcare, universal means you're in the universe. You should never go into debt or worry about calling an Uber instead of an ambulance. And that's doable. Every other country in the world that is like America does it. And we could do it, but somehow you've got a caught in your brain that, well, if I get it, then they're gonna I can't have them healthy. You'd rather suffer knowing other people are suffering, because the only joy you're getting is from knowing other people are suffering. And in return, you yourself will suffer, which is so crazy, because we are in the year of our Lord 2025. Boop. And we see all other countries do it. The VA here, the government, we have government-run healthcare paid for by taxes. Just like if you don't like socialism, then you must want to get rid of the military, because the American military is socialism. But we have the VA, a government-run healthcare system. We have prime examples all around the world of countries implementing government single-payer healthcare, universal healthcare. We could do it. And then if we just tax billionaires, we could pay for it. Never mind using our own taxes. Let's fucking use them. They've gotten enough tax breaks, enough government handouts. It's time for them to give back. We shouldn't have to work for them to not even afford the health care that we get taken out of our paychecks. It's so backwards. But what leftists are fighting for is for all of us to have the best health in the world. Because it's ironic to me that you say you want to make America great, but we pay the most for healthcare and we have the lowest life expectancy out of all the other industrialized nations. We're paying more and dying sooner than most other countries. What is great about that? What do you want to make great? It's just like when I posed the question earlier. You know, which teaching of Christ does MAGA follow? Just name one. Oh, these people that can't hear. The VA is taxpayer-funded healthcare. Jesus Christ. These people are so stupid. How do they survive this far? So fucking dumb. Jack-o'-lantern. Oh my God, Jack-o'-lantern. That is a good... Jack-o'-lantern is calling for...
Don't take Tylenol.
2028. Fuck, I'll run a bottle of Tylenol against any fascist, man. Again, these people are so fucking stupid. For the people who say, "Oh, the VA is quality health," you don't understand. Before, when America was formed, there was nothing like it. So they took bits and pieces and then they made it better. So what you do is you go, "There's the outline," and we figure out what's wrong with it and we make it better. I'm so sick of these small-minded, uncreative, live in the box. I just need to be obedient. I want a big, strong man like Donald Trump to just tell me what to do so I can just shut up and regurgitate like a baby bird getting fed from Donald Trump things. And they have such a lack of creativity, lack of foresight, lack of vision. It's implemented in many different ways across the world, and what we do is we figure out what's wrong with it and we make it better. Fucking morons. Oh God, this is what you make me feel like. And then this. Thank you, Alma. Thank you, Alma. It's so amazing to me, the people that I'll say, we Americans should have healthcare like the rest of the world. And people go nuts, like they get super angry. They're clearly still on their parents' healthcare. Bunch of entitled fucking rich kid brats. Oh my God, like Tommy Loren. Tommy Loren dissing healthcare, and then he found out, oh, she's still on her parents. She has no idea anything about it. I want to play, hold on, was there any other signs? Signs, everywhere the signs. A lot of places in the world have universal health care. It's paid for by their taxes. Again, taxes. I know it's very difficult for you to understand because here in America, we get nothing back with our taxes. But you should look. You can look in most of Europe, Canada, Mexico, a lot of the South American countries, where else? Israel. I think there's even some other Middle Eastern states. You should just fucking, goddamn, man. It's so crazy that when I was growing up, we had to walk to a library to like research stuff. You have a pocket in your fucking a computer in your pocket, and you're like, who has universal health care in the world? You know what? Maybe I should really be fighting for better education, a well-funded education system in America, and then we can have the conversation about healthcare. Oh my God. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, but I'm done with the small-minded people, okay? So if you're just gonna say, oh, you want to wait in line, again, we make it American. We Americanize it. And what that means is we find out what the problems are with other countries and we make it better. You guys are you love to live in that little box. It's like you're the horse with blinders on. And you're like, I can't see anything else. I just need Donald Trump to tell me what I need to do. Oh, your bosses must love you. That's why you're such bootlickers. Okay, I want to play, wait, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But yeah, one's employment should not exclude anyone, especially Americans, from eating well, drinking clean water, a home with heating, cooling, electricity, free healthcare, adequate clothing, access to free internet, public transportation, education, and living a fulfilled life. You should look up FDR when he implemented the minimum wage back in the 1930s, and he gave a whole speech and talked about how the minimum wage was not supposed to be a bare subsistence level, but the wages of a decent living with healthcare, education, housing, and recreation. And we've gotten so far from that, and people listen to like Tim Pool. God, why? He's like so obviously dumb. It's like a little kid got. Remember that? Did anybody else watch that show on Channel 2 where it was like kids news? It was like a PBS show, and it was like the kids took over the TV station. They did like a kids news show. What was that called? Did anybody else watch that? Man, I'll find it. I'll find it next time. Yeah, the minimum wage isn't even a bare subsistence level anymore. And that's what our taxes should do for us. And we should tax wealth, not work. Billionaires should not exist. We tax them into extinction. Once you hit $999 million, everything over that is taxed at 100%. And when I'm tired of them saying, oh, maybe you shouldn't buy a new iPhone every year. Maybe if you can't be taxed at 100% and you've made it to $999 million, maybe you're living outside your means. Have you ever considered that? Because there are people living on $30,000, $50,000, even $100,000 a year, and they're still making it happen. And billionaires have the audacity to tell people who live on much, much less that, oh, they can't be taxed. They only have $100 billion. Really? If you can't live off of that, because you're doing no good with it, you're influencing elections, judges' elections, you're buying off politicians, you're doing all sorts of heinous stuff. Epstein Island, they're not responsible with their money. So I would just say if billionaires can't be afforded to be taxed, then they're living outside of their means. Ever think about that? But I want to play this for you because I've seen this audio and it was crazy. They don't pay the most in taxes. In fact, some of them pay no taxes at all. Some of them pay much, much, much less. Nurses usually pay about 22%. I think Jeff Bezos paid like 1%. And that's if they even pay taxes, because Donald Trump gutted the IRS. And you know who he gutted from the IRS? He gutted the people that specialize in wealthy people's taxes, because they can write off yachts and planes and all sorts of different things. And he fired all them. So they don't. Stop with that propaganda. Actually, let's boot him the fuck out. KRAR, sorry. Yeah, we're not going to have these bot propagandists bootlicking saying, oh, billionaires pay. They don't. And if we do silence you, just so you know, it's for 24 hours. Don't go crying in my comments. You just look like, a snowflake. There's already some dude crying in the comments. Just shut up. We don't, if you're a fascist anyways, you support Donald Trump. Remember, he said anti-fascists are my enemy. So if you support fascism, you should love being banned, because that's like what fascists do. But I want to play this for you. Warning, there's a lot of cuss words, but I thought this lady is how America should be reacting to ICE. ICE is kidnapping people, disappearing people. There was a 13-year-old kid out of Everett, Massachusetts, that was taken and put in ICE custody in a different state. There was an autistic boy in Houston who went to use the bathroom. His parents were selling fruit on the side of the road, went to use the bathroom, and ICE kidnapped him. A 13-year-old autistic boy. This is heinous. These people are criminals, and they are only getting away with breaking the law because of a tyrant in charge. And this lady has the courage that every American needs. So that's why I think it's important to play it for you. And you can find this on Reddit.
That's why y'all are a bunch of fucking criminals. I wish you would. I wish the fuck you would. Yes, the fuck we hit something. Y'all a bunch of big pussies. Don't tell me to calm down.
No, that's ICE telling her to calm down. She has, I'm guessing, maybe like a Jamaican New York accent. And this says it's happening in New York. But you hear ICE telling her, calm down.
Okay, so we don't like none of you.
You okay?
No, how can I be okay? You okay? Are you okay?
You okay?
I look like I'm okay? Don't come up in my face here because I hit hard. Fuck wrong with y'all?
Try it.
I wish you.
That tough guy who wasn't talking the whole time goes, try it. Oh, I hate these people that hide behind a badge doing criminal activity.
You try me and see what the fuck happened. Nigga, we angry. All of us angry out here. So don't.
She said all of us angry out here. That's right, they're kidnapping kids. you know?
don't think it's y'all alone. You who you telling get out of here? Why you telling me get out of here? You asked me a question and I'm answering you. Get out of here. Man. Fuck wrong with you? Oh, stupid ass bitch. That's why you gotta hide your face. You wanna go to jail?
She said that's why you gotta hide your face. That's right. That's why they're hiding their face. Vintage Moss. I think these clowns need to do some research on Nuremberg. That's right. They're all going to be taking a trip to The Hague for some tribunal time. Some quality tribunal time.
I'm not gonna tell you anything. You wanna go to jail? With you. You wanna hit me? Hit me, bitch. You ain't got me. Nobody's scared of you. You're a pussy ass. Come. I got rings on, bitch. So me and you gonna fight, you pussy bitch. You're a pussy bitch. That's why.
Yo, this lady, man. I'm just telling you, like, now listen.
Your kids that don't like you.
She said your kids don't like you.
And your wife is fucking on you.
And your wife is fucking on you. I've never heard cheating called that, but God bless this woman, because, you know, she speaks for all of us, or at least most of us, when we say enough is enough. Stop kidnapping kids, women. Stop, you know, punching elderly parents of veterans. I can't even think all the crimes they've committed. Incredible.
That's why you gotta hide your face. My face ain't hidden, bitch. I'm American, you stupid bitch.
I gotta save this. I gotta make a bunch of clips of this because this lady is amazing. Paul, I'm gonna silence you for 24 hours, only because when you say true Democrat name calling, I want you to remember who is pretending to be a king right now. If you think this dude didn't base his whole thing on name calling and chanting lock her up and making fun of disabled people, I just don't know how to point out obvious things to you. I'm tired of the stupidity, and I'm tired of allowing grown-ass men to act that stupid without calling it out. That's all this dude does, is name call. He doesn't have concepts of a healthcare plan. He didn't release his taxes. He didn't release the Epstein files, but he certainly will call even Republicans, other people who've worked for him, Sleepy, Little, all these things, the sanctimonious. That's all he does is name call. I am so tired of these grown men being this stupid blatantly, like they're courageously stupid. Because they say stuff like a true Democrat name calling. I had to silence him, and don't come back, dude. Don't come back. Because I'm tired of people that are they're walking around stupid. Like full on, full bore stupidity, pedal to the metal. And they're walking around confidently. Like, of course, look at true Democrat calling people names. It's like, bro, this is the fucking dude you're defending. This is all he does is call people names. That's it. He hasn't had a nice thing to say in 70, 80 years. That's his whole thing. You guys had a whole fuck your feelings t-shirt merch grift because he called so many people names. I am absolutely tired of mostly these white grown-ass men walking around confidently stupid, unaware. Maybe because enough people aren't calling them out, but I'm done with it. Confident idiots. Thank you, Mike Joseph. Brian, you're another MAGA. Yes. Sinking to his level by calling him a confident idiot. If it offends you that you are confidently being an idiot, you shouldn't be here either. Get the fuck out of here. God damn. I love it. Like, they say something stupid and then they're like, oh, how dare you sink to the level of calling me what I am? Stop pearl clutching, man. Stop. Your whole thing was like, F your feelings. Oh, you're snowflakes. We drink your tears. And then I'm like, you're confidently stupid. You are walking around saying stupid shit out loud. And no one's being like, dude, shut up. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. You fucking voted for this guy who all he does is call people names. He hasn't had one idea. He just calls people names. I could go play a million clips, but I don't need to. Not only that, but he's on the Epstein list. He is all over the fucking files. God. Even he called you MAGA. He said you are stupid and weaklings. And you didn't even go, oh, name calling? That's what I mean. I'm so tired of these confident idiots. Thank you, Mike Joseph, for that. I'm so tired of these confident idiots. Because when Donald, hold on, where is it? When old Nussy Neck, when this Nussy Neck, you see that? That's gross. Go get open an OnlyFans, dude. Get that off Time Magazine. When this Nussy called his own followers stupid and weaklings because they wanted the Epstein files released, I didn't see you guys saying anything. You know what you did do? You go, oh, we don't like the Epstein files anymore. You were obedient. Fucking crying babies. Bunch of babies. God damn. Grab him by the nussy. Good to see you, KT Liz. Howard Stern for president. Oh. His ear did heal well. Isn't that incredible? There's nothing missing. No scar. Hey, Crush Dice is here. What's up, Crush? Sad, pathetic people. I'll tell you that. The people that keep supporting and defending him, even when he called you. Not only did he call you weaklings and stupid, but I want to play this for you because maybe you didn't hear it or maybe you didn't get it. Donald Trump said,
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things.
he said there's a lot of stupid, the other week when he did the Tylenol thing, he said there's a lot of stupid people in the country running things. He's the only one running things. It's only Republicans.
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things.
But he said this about his followers.
Smart people don't like me.
So I have to break this down every day because I think MAGA doesn't understand. This was a very complex riddle. This was like a fucking wordle to them.
Smart people don't like me.
He says smart people don't like him. So who does that leave? Who likes him? If smart people don't like him, who likes him? Stupid people. And they're very confident. They say some dumb stuff out loud. And they think they like, you know, they're like Ben Shapiro. They're like, wow, look at how smart I am. Tim Pool, oh, wow, look at how smart I said big words. But this necknussy called his own followers stupid because he said, smart people don't like me. So if you like me, you're pretty stupid. And I don't see any of you pearl clutching when he calls you stupid because you're in a cult. Solidarity to everybody with the No Kings. Everybody. I love this sign. This is in the year of our Lord 2025. I think this says it all. And this. These are my favorite signs. I gotta get this as a blacklight poster. That frog should be Time Person of the Year, without a doubt. All right, guys, have a great night. Oh, wait, let's get to 100 likes. I didn't even realize we're at 99 likes. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get to 100. Just got back from No Kings. Awesome. I got to check out a couple of them today. I'm in recovery mode, though, as I had a procedure. Taking notes. No kings, no tyrants. Darren, love you. Oh, wait. Oh, are they all sleeping? Hold on one second. Katie, Liz, and Crush Dice. Hold on one second. Wait, where'd they go? Where did they go? Oh my God, you little funny bunnies. You little funny guys. Oh my God, come here. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God, they're so funny. They were sleeping, sorry. Do not obey in advance. Do not obey in advance. Do not obey in advance. I got a better shot of that. I love that poster. I want one of those posters. I want one of those frames. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Vintage Moss. Good to see you. Sorry. Was that you? That was her. That was her. Oh, look, now she wants to leave. As she wants to leave. Oh my God. You see her little Harry Potter scar or mark? I thought it was a fire type Pokemon mark. But my daughter said, it's Harry Potter. Got the cat and all. Ah, that hurts. That hurts to do that. Say goodnight. Say goodnight to everybody. KRAR, good to see you. Good to see you. Crush, Savage, Vintage, and everybody else who showed solidarity across the country today and across the world. Thank you very much. Okay, go. I had to show you the Crush. All right, guys. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be back probably not tomorrow. I'm recovering. I had a procedure, surgery, so I'm still recovering. But had my Tylenol, so I could do this tonight and feel kind of okay. Canada hopes, yeah, we hope too. Canada, thank you for standing in solidarity with us. Have a great night. Be kind to one another. Remember, don't obey unless you're obeying the good Lord Jesus, who said, unselfishly love your neighbor. Peace.